Thank you.
Give a quick overview about us. Protouch is a certification institute which provide upskilling courses to the professionals like HR generalists, HR analytics advanced certification program, POSH, train the trainer to deliver POSH trainings, business analytics for manager certification, corporate trainer and facilitator, train the trainer certification, certified practitioner coach certification, and emotional intelligence trainer and coach certification. Therefore, we provide customized programs, and all the programs are accredited by the topmost bodies like ICF, SHRM, HRCI, CPD, and IBEC. I'm so glad to see many existing students, team members, and aspiring students of Protouch who have joined this learning session. Now let's begin our learning session with Pankaj Khare and Dr. Ipshita Padhi, our guest speakers of today's morning. I would like to take a moment to introduce with everyone with our today's guest speakers, Pankaj Khare, who is a seasoned senior corporate trainer and facilitator with a rich history since the 1990s. Certified by Denon, he excels in advanced training and has significantly contributed to the global learning facilitator program and the Succeed Sales module. With a background of law and an MBA in marketing from the USA, Pankaj Khare is an expert in sales, marketing, operations, and training, offering high-impact training programs and skill development sessions. He empowers organizations to achieve strategic goals. Additionally, he holds a yoga diploma from YCMOU and certifications from SHRM, HRC, and CPD. Coming into Dr. Ipshita Padhi's profile, she is a distinguished professional with over 15 plus years of experience across corporate and academic sectors. Her career includes 5 years in corporate roles and over a decade dedicated to the educational sector. She excels in imparting essential soft skills and employability skills, preparing students for professional success. She holds a bachelor degree in electronics and telecommunication engineering, master's in psychology, as well as business administration, and a PhD in business administration. Currently, she is working as a freelance soft skill trainer, collaborating with various educational institutions. It's an honor to have Pankaj Khare and Dr. Ipshita Padhi with us today. Over to you, Dr. Ipshita.
Thank you very much, Preeti, for the wonderful introduction. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. It feels really wonderful to have you all for the session. In today's session, myself and Pankaj will explore and understand the importance of assertiveness in workplace communication. And over the course of our discussion, we'll also try to understand few strategies how to master assertiveness in our daily communications. Before we start, may I please request everyone to save your questions for the end of the session, and we'll be taking, or you can put it in the chat box, we'll taking up all the questions at the end of the session. Okay, so it's a Friday morning, and I believe most of you are already soaked up in your weekend mood. So let's do a bit of warm up to ensure we have everyone's undivided attention. I'm sure all of you might have drawn a lot of shapes during your kindergarten period. So let me transport you back to your kindergarten memories. We'll be drawing a bit of shapes, imaginary shapes. We're not using any stationery for now. So all I could ask you to do is, can we please have everybody put on their videos, please? So we can have a better interaction. Okay. I would request everyone to please follow my instructions and we'll draw shapes together. So I would want you to draw an imaginary circle with your right hand. Doesn't matter whether it is going clockwise or anti-clockwise. Okay, stop. Now draw a circle with your left hand. Okay, stop. Now, please listen carefully. Draw an anti-clockwise circle with your left hand and a clockwise circle with your right hand. Is it going good? Which way is it going? All right. Do you remember we normally, when we use fuljaris during Diwali, we use the same kind of circular motions, clockwise and anti-clockwise. Both the hands don't go clockwise, or both the hands don't go anti-clockwise. So this has a major role to play in our day-to-day life as well, because majority of the time when we are working in our lives, we often discuss about work-life balance. So sometimes there are things which is going in the clockwise direction in our life. At the same time, something is going in the anti-clockwise direction. We need to make a balance. So this activity is more about understanding the balance. All right, moving forward. Since we've done a bit of warm up with our fingers, let's put them to better use now. I would want you to think about a name. Any name, maybe at least with 2 or 3 vowels in it. It could be a name from your contact list, anyone who's your favorite among your family, or your favorite childhood cartoon character or your superhero. Just think about the name and either type it out on your laptop, your mobile, or jot it down somewhere. But please be mindful with the spelling, because we have got to do something with the spelling over there. Okay. Once you're done with it, just a minute. Okay. So if you can look at the screen here, there are 2 columns here. The first column talks about actual vowels, which is actually there in your spelling as of now. And I would request you to make the changes according to the second column. So I'll give you an example here. Let's say my name is Ipshita. I spell it out as Ipsita. So I have 3 vowels in my name. And if I have to make a change, according to the column that is mentioned on your screen, my renewed spelling would be Opsote. Okay. So please just let me know. Just give it a thumbs up once you're done with your change. Then we'll take it to the next level. All of you done, I guess? All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So we have the third column that is being projected here. What I would want you to do is, you already have a new spelling to the name that you had picked up. I would want you to add on another column of vowels to the new spelling that you have. So I'll again take this name of spelling of my name. So my name is actually pronounced as Ipsita. The changed spelling was Opsote. Now with the third column that has come up, my new name would be Oupsoutei. Now, I would really don't know how to pronounce that, but I would actually encourage each one of you to come up with your pronunciations. Either put it on the chat box or just unmute yourself and pronounce it out. Let's see who among you have the most funniest pronunciation. Yes, anyone?
Yeah, hi Akshita. Actually, I wrote one of the name of my childhood character, that is Shaktiman,
Okay.
and now it becomes Shiktomil.
All right. All right. That's wonderful, Prakash. Thank you very much. Anybody else?
Hi, Ipshita.
Hi.
So I chose the character He-Man, and that became High Men, and eventually became Ho Men.
All right. All right. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and you had a little bit of fun. So I'm just going to pass it on to Pankaj to continue with the session, and we'll be meeting again towards the end of the session. Over to you, Pankaj. I'll stop sharing and you can start from your end.
Uh, Glad to see so many familiar faces. Thank you, Preeti, for the kind introduction. Shivani, Nishant, hi, Sakshi, Keval, Manjusha, hi, welcome. Richa,
Hello.
Sunita. So glad to see so many familiar faces. I remember this incident vividly. It was in my previous company in the early 2000s. There were two employees. Both were into the sales role. Both had about 6 to 7 years experience in that particular role. However, one of the salesperson, he always consistently exceeded the other in the sales number. Their team manager shifted to a different company. So there was a vacancy of the team manager. The person always ranking first in the sales number, he was hesitant to talk about his promotion. And the person who was always second in the sales number, he approached the HR and explained as to why he is suitable, most suitable for that particular role. And the second ranking person, he got promoted. He with his family shifted to a bigger city. And recently I had the opportunity of speaking to that person. Now he is absorbed with a leading multinational and is in a very senior position. Esteemed guests, about a year back, I also had the opportunity to speak to the person who was always number one in the sales. He's still in the same role. So it was this assertiveness behavior in early 2000 which made a magic game changer in his career. Have you ever felt frustrated when you wanted to say no in a meeting, or in a meeting your ideas weren't heard? I want responses from you all.
Yes, Pankaj, that has happened.
Yeah, Richa, please, welcome to speak about it.
Yes, sometimes that happens that when you're trying to, like, when you think of something, but then you choose not to speak about it.
Okay, can you describe the scenario?
I can't recall any such scenario, but then there are very, very small things like you wait for uh, the situation to happen as it is, and sometimes you choose not to say because you're not denying to the other person also.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Richa, for your feedback. Anyone else would like to share the response? Prakash, Sakshi, Shivani, let it be a participative webinar. Would like all of you to participate. Manjusha,
Yes, I would like to say something here.
yeah,
So,
sure.
I believe the biggest barrier here is the hesitation. And maybe when we would want to say it, but we just can't say it out. And we are so much hesitant over there. Maybe it's because of the consciousness. And I don't know what factors come here, but I believe hesitation is the biggest barrier.
Very true, very aptly said. Can you describe, Shivani, that any particular scenario where you faced this?
There are quite a few moments in my life. Can't recall any one particular moment, but a lot of times it has happened with me that I would want to speak, but there is something within me that I think I believe I should not say it or something like that. I don't know. It's mixed thoughts, I believe,
Okay,
and I just stop there. And later on, I do regret that I should have, you know, said it out.
okay.
These are the things that happen with me.
So what triggered that particular thing? Can you,
Sorry.
what triggered that behavior?
I don't know.
Okay. Thank you so much, Shivani. Anyone else?
Pankaj, Umang, he has raised his hand. I think he would like to share. Over to you, Umang.
One, please.
Thank you so much, Preeti ma'am and Pankaj, for giving me the opportunity. I actually wanted to describe a moment. It was a moment of my college days. So we had some friends. We were around 4 to 5 people in a group, particularly. So we planned a trip to Uttarakhand. So at that particular point of time, I was very interested to go with my friends because obviously we always feel to hang out with my friends. On the other hand, my father did not like it. He said, I would not let you go anywhere from my eyes. So obviously every parent does that. Every parent has the care for their child. So this was an incident. I was literally confused at that moment that whom to say no. Should I say no to my friends or should I ask my parents at that moment? So it was a kind of confusing moment for me. And this is really a memory that I have in my mind. So yeah, that was something I feel that I could have taken an action accordingly. So that was something that I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Umang. Rashmi, can we have your view?
Yeah, Pankaj, I would say during these, training sessions we had with Protouch, there were many moments wherein, I wanted to say something, but I hesitated for a moment, and the next moment someone said exactly the same thing. So that was the moment of realization that, oh, why did I hesitate? I should have said that. So I think that's a very common scenario that we do most of the times. We hesitate to say something and then we realize it later that we should have said it. And it's always good to make your point, whether it's taken positively or not.
Thank you so much, Rashmi, for your feedback. Let me share the screen. Uh,
Are you facing any challenge, Pankaj?
I'm not able to see the screen share in when I'm pressing the more.
Ipshita, can you do for her, for him? Don't worry, Ipshita will do the speech.
Yeah, I'm able to do. If it, I'm able to do. So what if I told you there's a way to handle this situation confidently and effectively? So we will be discussing that. So are you all ready? Okay. So fasten your seat belts. We are about to embark on an exhilarating journey together. Today, we are going to explore how mastering assertiveness can transform your workplace communication and overall effectiveness. Assertiveness is a crucial skill that empowers individuals to express their thoughts, feelings, and need confidently. Am I with you all? So we will delve into the practical strategies and techniques. In Europe, for the statistics, it was done by CPP Inc. that 85% of the employee experience conflict at work, often stemming from poor communication. So let's, before we dive in, let's do one opinion poll. I will like all of you to do this poll. 1 is on the lower side and 5 is on the higher side. Either you can share your responses here, it's a self-reflection, or you can put in the chat box, or if you feel comfortable, it's for your record, you can note down on a piece of paper. How comfortable do you feel being assertive at work? Once you are done, please let me know. Done? Let's wait for another 30 seconds for all to do. Basically, it should be honest self-reflection. Okay. It's interesting to see the results. So we will explore how to move those numbers up. Don't worry about the results. Assertiveness is perceived as something very difficult. It's not a rocket science. In fact, if you are aligned with me till the end, then it's very simple. There's a phrase, think before speaking. I will go a step further. Think before your thoughts. If one logically analyze as per person, situation, and circumstances, and then make a sound decision, and then that person aligns thought, verbal speaking, and action with their body language, then word after word after a word will become power. This was aptly put by Margaret Atwood A word after a word after a word is a power. Am I with you all? Yes, thank you. So basically, what happens when many times thoughts are different, words are different, and action is different. Alignment is not there. And it happens sooner or later, the body language will speak for you. You cannot hide it. So basically, assertiveness is a balancing act. Something as simple as that. What I want, what others want. What is my need, what are others' need. A balancing approach. There are 4 styles of communication. When one avoids expressing personal needs or desires, often complain and may be resentful or unfulfilled, may struggle with setting boundaries and asserting oneself. I will give you an example. Agreeing to something reluctantly without expressing true feelings, hiding the feelings in the heart. That is passive behavior. Indirectly, when one is expressing hostility or resentment, often includes sarcasm, backhanded compliments, subtle sabotage, can be manipulative, and avoid direct confrontation. Like, let me think about an example. Agreeing to a task, but intentionally doing it poorly. That is passive aggressive. When one directly expresses need and desire at the expense of others, may involve yelling, belittling, intimidating behavior. Often disregards others' feeling or boundaries. Like insulting someone who disagree with you during a discussion. That is aggressive. And when one expresses personal needs and desires respectfully and directly, maintains boundaries while considering others' balance and needs. Maintain boundaries, balancing act, consider others' balance and needs. Promotes open communication and problem solving. Like clearly stating opinion and preferences without respecting others. That is being assertive. I would like to on this any of the communication style which any of you face that particular scenario episode. I would like to have your responses on this communication style. Rashmi, Umang. We can even have from you, Dr. Aparna. Sakshi. Kashish.
Raise in the hand, you can.
Manjusha. Yeah. Yeah, please.
Shall I?
Yeah, Umang. Sure. Most welcome.
Sure. Thank you, Pankaj. Actually, if I specifically talk, we obviously feel or face these kind of scenarios in regular lives. I would not talk about a particular scenario or a particular way of dealing with the people. But yes, all these scenarios I have faced sometimes in my life. For example, if I talk about passive behavior. So usually we see these kind of behaviors to our subordinates. Okay, or usually we see these kind of behaviors to our children. Okay, they are specifically passive, or they do not, they always try to obey the orders of their parents. I would not say that's a passive, but yes, somewhere it can come in that category as well. If I talk about aggressive behavior, sometimes I see these kind of things in vegetable stores. Whenever there's a negotiation between two parties, so they both are aggressive towards each other, that Bhaiya, give me for 10 rupees, somebody's saying, give me for 15 rupees. So this is an aggressive behavior. Assertiveness is usually important as the most critical thing, because if I talk about assertiveness, it is always helping us in professionalism.
Yes.
Whenever we are entering into any kind of professional, you can say professional environment, or we are entering into somewhere when we have to deal with professional people, I think assertiveness is the best behavior, and we obviously face these kind of scenarios in our offices as well. So yes, these all situations we have faced sometimes in our life, and it's always a great experience and a different experience having involved into such kind of discussions. So yeah, this is what I wanted to share.
Thank you, Aman, for aptly putting it. Thank you so much. Anybody else would like to give one particular scenario on this?
So I would like to also contribute here. And, now we can see passive, aggressive, and assertive. And most of the people will speak about the assertive. That is good. However, once in a while, people may tend to get aggressive and still they can be right. Now, I would like to mention that particular situation. What you have written, inappropriately honest, direct, expressive, blaming, and attacking, and controlling. I will agree till there, but the other part, self-enhancing at expense of others, I may not agree with that. But yes, sometimes people will be honest, people will be direct, people will be expressive, people may sound they're attacking, they may blame, and they may control also in situations of zero tolerance at workplace. For example, if there are any indisciplinary issues have happened, which are not acceptable if at workplace, we really need to be honest, direct, not taking at all. Blame that person because no one else's responsibility it is to take care of his or her behavior. Control, right? And that may happen when there is a zero tolerance or disciplinary issues comes at workplace. And sometimes I may also choose passive when I, honestly speaking, I really don't want to get into that discussion like politics. I may refrain from that and I'll say, hey, you're right, buddy, you have a great brains in that. I don't have. Sometimes I may not have a great information about it. So I do not have to be expressive all the time there, and I may go passive because I don't have enough information, knowledge, or I choose to be not to be the part of that conversation. So I feel 100% assertiveness is very important. In 90% of the conversation, we should have it. However, in 10%, we may get into other types also. And we should not have a guilt of it until and unless we are using one strategy, looking at the situation. So that will be my take on this.
Dr. Aparna, for your
Thank you.
expert practical insights. Let's see a small video. It will make more clear. Benefits of assertive communication. It enhances professional relationship, leading to stronger bonds, increases self-confidence as a sense of self-assurance and empowerment is there, and facilitates effective team building and communication. There are certain demands to up for assertiveness. Fear of conflict. What many times it happens to maintain English harmony, हिंदी का हार मानी हो जाता है, हार मान लिया. People go कि why to fall into controversy? Let's maintain harmony. So it becomes ultimately in the long run is neither harmony, and it's always losing. Isn't the approach should be win-win. Are you with me? Show a thumbs up if you all are with me. Thank you. Lack of self-confidence, low self-esteem and confidence is one of the biggest demo. Then there may be cultural and gender norms, how assertiveness is perceived and expressed in different contexts. That may also be a reason. And as we saw the communication style, some may be more dominant, some may be submissive. So that is another reason. So, any of you like to share their common barrier which triggered this, as which their assertiveness behavior could not come in front, and something they would like to add other than these demons?
Yeah, hi, this is Kiran.
Yes, welcome.
Yeah, so I want to start the conversation. I will get and
Audio is not clear. Rajkumar?
Yes.
Hi, Pankaj. Hi. I just wanted to add, a one point here on the previous slide, lack of self-confidence that actually, makes people not being assertive. One more point I would like to add here is this low self-esteem and confidence that can hinder assertiveness is most of the times when the people don't feel that they are recognized for their effort, and sometimes the feedback that they get is insufficient, right? So those two key points also adds value when a person is not being self-confident, no matter even at workplace, even if you take it in your personal life. So when you don't get the regular or adequate feedback, you'll not feel confident, or you'll not even know whether am I able to deliver what is expected out of me, right? So when these things are, the person gets on time adequately, I don't think self-confidence will stop them from being assertive. My point, Pankaj. Thank you.
To Rajkumar for your very aptly put all the points. Thank you so much. Anyone else would like to share? Okay. This is a very important part, strategies. I want all of you to be very attentive. I want all of you come here, put your video on. I want to see all of you like this. Yes. By framing your expression with I statement, we are taking the responsibility for our feelings and thoughts. For instance, I will give you an example. I feel frustrated when the meeting starts late because it disrupts my schedule. Better way of saying, rather than you always start the meeting late. Make sense? Show me a thumbs up if it makes sense. Thank you. Be specific. Precision in your requests or statements helps avoid misunderstanding. For example, I need this soon. Instead of that, frame it. I need this particular report by 3 p.m. tomorrow, that is on Saturday. Sounds better? Setting boundaries. Always before that, second point, body language. Maintain proper eye contact. However, you should see that staring is not there, because staring will frighten the other person. It will be intimidating behavior. Eye contact should be there, but staring shouldn't be there. Then you should stand straight. It will show your sit, or you should be straight. It will show your confidence approach. And you should always use open gestures. Open body language such as uncrossed arm or facing the person you are speaking to while speaking conveys openness and readiness. If you sit like this, the other person will think that you are being defensive to their thoughts. So always have open gestures. Body language is important. Strategy. Set boundaries. Declining additional tasks respectfully helps manage your workload and maintain quality. Like you might say, I am currently committed to another project. Could we look at how to prioritize this next week? Delegate tasks. When appropriate, delegate tasks in a discreet way to a team member. Like you can communicate it this way. I think this project will benefit from your expertise. Can you take it off? More discreet way of delegating. Respecting the other person instead of directly delegating. Reflect back what someone has said. Demonstrate that you are listening and understanding their perspective. Like you can say, put it this way. I understand that the client is demanding a quick turnaround. Let's discuss ways how we can manage that. So it will show your understanding to the other person, to your colleague. Even if someone disagree, so you put it this way, you respect their dialogue. I see why you are concerned about the budget. Let's explore options so that we can work within the financial constraint. More better approach. Before any important situation, have the role play. It will build confidence. Like role play a scenario where you need to ask for a raise or handle a difficult conversation with a colleague or a mentor. It will definitely help you. Be proactive. Plan ahead. Before a crucial conversation, outline the main points. It will help you staying focused and confident. Am I with you all? Please show thumbs up. When other person is being rude to us, what is that mental behavior at that time? He is not sound. Like suppose someone is mentally ill. So you will have a different behavior approach for that person. Or someone is a drunkard. And when he's at that time, if he's saying something, you will have a different approach. So when one is being rude to us, understand it's a mental illness at that particular moment. So your response should be different. So in one of my LinkedIn posts, I have shared a response on my post is on responses of employees. You can go through that. Basically, it's a spiritual intelligence approach. Red. When the response is there are three approaches to us: reflection, absorption, transformation. When the negative behavior comes to us, we can reflect in the same way, or we can be more harsh. Absorption. we are in our mind, we are getting frustrated with the rudeness, but outwardly our body language is, there's a false body language. We are showing a false smile. So however, it will not last long. Your body language will speak for you. Moreover, it will lead to stress, absorption. In your family, you will have disharmony because that frustration will come out sooner or later. Work-life balance will get destroyed. So absorption is also not a good approach. Best is transformation. Negative energy comes. This is a part of soul intelligence, and you transform it with a positive energy. For that, you have to stay calm. Techniques such as deep breathing, pausing before responding, and mindfulness can help you in this. Like if a situation gets heated, say, let's take a 5-minute break and revisit this with fresh perspectives. Take breaks. If you feel overwhelmed, take break. Say, I need a moment to gather my thoughts. Can we continue this discussion in 10 minutes? So manage your emotions. It will help you for assertiveness. Ask for input. Feedback from colleagues or mentors can provide valuable insight into your assertiveness. Questions like, how you think I handled that meeting, Ramesh, can yield constructive feedback. Be open to criticism. Accepting and acting on constructive criticism. Like, I appreciate your feedback. I will surely work on that. Have the positive approach. It's for your benefit. Yes, Harpreet. Harpreet, you're welcome. Harpreet, we are not able to hear you. Let's wait. Let me complete a strategy. Then we will discuss. We are not able to hear you, Harpreet. Acknowledge and reward yourself for every successful assertive interaction, no matter how small. This reinforces positive behavior. Pat yourself for every assertive approach. Will help you to build assertiveness slowly. Consistency is important on the daily basis to build assertiveness. Regularly reflect on your interaction. What could be improved? This will help you. What went right? What went wrong? Post behavior have this self-reflection. Assertiveness is about being firm but respectful. I want all of your speakers on and repeat with me. May I request all of you to put on your speaker and repeat with me this way. Also put on your video. Assertiveness is about being firm but respectful. The balancing act. Thank you. Focus on resolving issues rather than blaming. Instead of saying this system is always failing, it's better to say, let's discuss ways to improve this system. For the reliability of the system, let's work different ways and strategies. Sounds better? So you have to stay professional. Participate in training session. It will help you to boost your assertiveness. Provide you with new strategies. Reinforce your existing skills. So attend workshop on assertiveness. I will suggest one good book by Randy Patterson, The Assertiveness Workbook. Make it a point to read books. Again by Gary Patterson, one more good book is there. So,
Excuse me, sorry to disturb in between. Pankaj, kindly take her on time also. Ikshita is waiting for her turn.
yeah, sure. There are different workplace scenarios like assertive communication in team meeting, dealing with clients, negotiating for promotion, or giving or receiving feedback. I am available 24/7. Anyone wants more insights on this, we can discuss. And of course, my favorite topic, spiritual intelligence. It takes at least basic 3 days to understand the concept of it's a soul concept. So basically, I will just give the bird's eye view. Yeah, Harpreet. So recognize personal communication styles and triggers. It will help you to listen empathetically, help you express feeling honestly and tactfully, help you to practice calmness, like practice like meditation will help you. And overall, with organizational goals and your strategy, you will be moving ahead. So this is basically the spiritual intelligence concept. So now I request Ipsita to take over. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pankaj, for the wonderful insight. So we'll start with a small activity here. Pankaj, will you continue with your screen share or would you want me to share? Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. So we are looking at a workplace scenario here. Since we've gone through a lot of theoretical background about what is assertiveness and the communication styles and what we go through on a daily day-to-day basis on our workplace, I'm just giving you a scenario of an actual real-life workplace. This is taken from a real case study. So here we are working on IT industry based out of Bangalore. There are 4 team members here. They are gearing up for a team meeting. We have 4 people here, as we can see on the screen. Ravi, who is the project manager. Anjali, the junior software developer. Vikram, the senior software developer. Priya, the quality assurance specialist. So they are meeting for a team meeting on a Monday morning to discuss on the guidelines and how to complete a particular deadline, which is to be given to the client by the end of the week. So Ravi initiates with the team. I need everyone to complete their initial tasks by the end of the week. If you have any concerns, please bring them to my attention so we can address them promptly. But Anjali, being the youngest in the entire team, she's just joined. It's just been 6 months. She's joined the organization. She's yet to get accustomed to the workplace scenario. She has her own apprehensions as to whether she will actually be able to meet the deadlines and make it through the entire week and be able to actually complete it. So since Ravi has already initiated that he wants to hear out everybody's concerns, Anjali is prompt enough to just speak out her concerns, that I would try to do my best, but I'm not too sure if I'll ever be able to finish on time. To which Vikram kind of takes up Anjali's comments in a very negative way. He kind of feels as if Anjali is trying to run away from the burden or the workload that is being given. And in a very curt and harsh way, he replies back, if you can't handle it, maybe you should step back and let somebody more capable take it over. So in a way, he's actually trying to question Anjali's sincerity, her hard work, and also her integrity towards the work. He's not actually trying to help her in any way, trying to understand where from the concerns that Anjali is stemming out is coming out from. Ultimately, having seen all the comments that each team member has put up, Priya very sarcastically side-eyes towards Ravi and says that it is all because of just one person that we have to just keep redoing things again and again, and somebody has to keep changing their mind. So we just have to keep doing things. So if this is the kind of scenario that you have to face in a workplace scenario, what do you think? Who is more assertive here? Who is more passive? Who is passive aggressive? And who is actually on the passive side? Anyone from the audience? We have all the 4 communication styles being represented here. Who do you think is the assertive person here?
Vikram is assertive. Anjali is passive. Priya and Ravi is assertive again.
Okay.
Priya, I'm not
So,
able to make out.
okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Rashmi. So Anjali, we can clearly make out that she is in a passive communication style. And Vikram, as we can see, because when we speak, there is a lot to go with the body language, our tone, pitch, expressions, eye contact, facial expressions, gestures, postures. They speak more volumes than the words that come out of our mouth. So because of which, maybe it is difficult for you to analyze the scenario. Vikram is trying to be a little more aggressive here. If you can just enact it out, the way he actually spoke out is, if you can't handle it, maybe you should step aside and let someone more capable take over. If you hear it this way, maybe then you understand that it is actually clear, aggressive communication style. Whereas Ravi was trying to be more assertive, Priya is being passive aggressive. Passive aggressive is where she is not trying to show out her aggression as directly as Vikram is showing it out, but in a very subtle way, she is showing out her displeasure in a very she's not trying to improve the team cohesion. She's not adding on to the constructiveness of the team meeting, because of which they are together and why they are discussing on this entire meeting. So if you look at this on the other side as well, there are 2 ladies in the team, and ideally, Priya being one of the senior ladies in the team, she should be giving some support to Anjali, who is a newcomer, is a new joinee. But unfortunately, she's absorbed in her own ego, in her own situation, and she's just trying to showcase as if she's being burdened with a lot of work, because Ravi, being the project manager, has asked them to redo on certain things once again. So these are certain scenarios that we come across on a daily, day-to-day basis in our workplace, whether we are trainers, full-time, freelance, in-house, whichever way we are, or maybe we are working elsewhere, we do face these kind of scenarios every now and then. So I'm just going to give you a quick interpretation of the entire case study. So Ravi was more assertive, and he was trying to help out, clear the expectations and open doors for dialogue, and ensure that each team member was able to voice their concerns before they begin with the entire project. Anjali was a little passive because, of course, we understand, as Pankaj had already mentioned in his strategies, that she lacked the self-confidence. She had her own doubts and apprehensions on her capabilities, because she's just a new joinee. It's just been 6 months since she's been in the organization. Vikram is being aggressive because there are 2 things here. He has his own arrogance because of he being the senior most software developer in the team. And second, he has an attitude problem because he feels that Anjali is just trying to play a victim card because she's the new joinee and she's trying to run away from the capabilities. So he's again very self-absorbed with his own thoughts, and he's not trying to understand as to where from Anjali is trying to voice out her concerns. And Priya, of course, if you ask me, among all the 4 people that is being discussed out here, Priya's communication style is the worst, because she's neither on the aggressive style nor neither on the passive side. And these are the kind of people, they are like these energy vampires that we come across in our life. They show out to be passive aggressive, and they are projecting that they are being assertive. But there is a very, very thin line between being assertive and being passive aggressive. And it is sometimes very difficult for people who are actually on the receiving end to understand whether the individual is trying to be curt with you or they are trying to be good to you. And that is where all the difficulty starts and the conflict arises in a workplace scenario. Let me take another small example of our daily life. I'm so sorry. I think we are almost done with this session. I'm going to take another 5 minutes to just wind up as quickly as possible. Majority of the time when we are in a supermarket, let us say, take an example of this lady here. She's Geeta. She's just had a very hard day at office, and she is standing in the billing counter since the past 1 hour, waiting for a turn to get to the billing counter and get back home to her ailing mother. But all of a sudden, two teenagers who just bump into few people who are one of their friends who's standing in front of Geeta, and then they keep discussing, and they say that okay, they are in a hurry to go to some party, and so they stand just in front of Geeta. So had you been in this situation, Geeta is actually getting impatient to go back home. It's been an hour since she's been standing in the queue. Had you been in the situation where Geeta is as on today, what would have been your thoughts? Would you have tried to stop those two youngsters from actually taking your cue when you've been standing there for such a long time? Would you have asked them to go back and stand in the queue and take the line at the back? Or you would have just taken it, okay, happens. Hota rehta hai. What would have been your take on this? I'm sure all of us have actually come across these situations. I myself have come across these situations. So I'm just giving you 4 scenarios here, 4 dialogues, and maybe you can then choose and let me know which among them would be your choice. So there are 4 dialogues that I've been projected on the screen. You can just choose between 1, 2, 3, 4 if you number them that way. Just put it in the chat box or maybe unmute and let me know which among these 4 dialogues would you have used to confront those teenagers. Okay, thank you, Kanupriya, Rajkumar. Okay, second, all right. But sometimes I believe sometimes we are not in the right frame of mind, as Dr. Aparna also pointed out, that it is not always possible that we do speak out as number 2. So I'll just quickly show out what each one of the communication styles project, which that is passive aggressive, the first one. Second one is obviously assertive. Third one is aggressive. And the fourth one is submissive. So I'll just sum it up in maybe 3 lines. That's the bumper sticker that Pankaj has already discussed about. Assertiveness is about being firm but respectful. Taking a cue from whatever Pankaj has spoken about, and also from Dr. Aparna's thought process, I believe there are 3 major things that we need to keep in mind when we are trying to be assertive in any scenario. First, our maturity. Maturity is where we need to understand when to speak and when to keep quiet, when to stand up for yourself and when to let it go, or when to maybe bow down and just be there, be calm. Second is sometimes it's good to have patience. Maybe sometimes when you're looking at a scenario from a certain perspective, you are looking at from a very myopic vision. We are not trying to understand the wholesome perspective of the entire scenario. So that again has to be kept in mind. And third, the most important, do not entertain anybody. I repeat, do not entertain anybody. The moment you start entertaining people, you are in a way giving them the leverage to take you for granted. And that is the first part where you are lagging on the communication style. People take you for granted. People feel that you are a doormat. People feel that, yes, we can just go over them, go overboard of them, and then we can just dictate terms to them. So there are 3 things: your maturity, your patience, and do not entertain anybody. With that, it's a wrap from us. Thank you very much for your patience. Any questions?
I would say thank you so much, Ipshida, for like handling all those things in a great case study form. It was
Thank
very
you.
informative. And can we have a great round of applause for both the trainers?
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. It was a pleasure interacting with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.